Welcome to the Sixth Sense Foundation.
Mr. Gilbert. All right, go ahead, Will. Start it up.
You ready?
What's today? What's today's date? January what? 20th or 21st? All right.
Yeah.
January 21st, 2024. Will, go ahead and kick it off.
You ready? What's your full name?
William Gilbert.
William Gilbert. Where you from?
Seneca, South Carolina.
Okay. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 9 brothers and 1 sister.
Okay. What did your mother do for a living?
She worked on the farm and housework.
How about your father?
He worked sharecrop.
Sharecropper?
Yeah.
For people who don't know what a sharecropper is, what is a
That
sharecropper?
means that the white man get half of the crops when he finished with it.
Okay. I was told that your father had a farm, but some kind of bugs got into it. What type of bugs had got into your farm and killed the crop?
Boll weevils.
They call boll weevils?
Yeah.
What is boll weevils?
Boll weevils eat cotton up.
Eat cotton up?
Yeah.
Okay. After you finished high school, where did you go to next?
I went to Allen University in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay. Before Allen, didn't you go into the military?
No, I went to Allen University, and then they drafted me in the Army, the Korean War.
Okay.
And when I come out, the Army, I went back to Allen University and played football.
Okay, that's good. After Allen University, you graduated, where did you go to next?
After I graduated from Allen University, I got a job at EATONTON, Georgia, up there with small boys. They was kind of mischievous, and that's where they sent them to.
Okay.
And I was the head start director and over that department.
Okay. When you was at Allen University, when you was in Alto, was James Brown in that prison as well?
Yeah, he was in that period.
Okay. And you was over James Brown when he was in prison?
Yeah, I was over. I wouldn't say over him, but we had a lot of conversation.
Okay. Wow. What type of man was he when he was at Alto?
He was a good singer. He was nice. When they come there, they have to be nice because I was over the department and over most of them.
Okay. After you finished Alto, how did you get to Eatonton, Georgia?
I didn't finish Alto. My wife came to Eatonton, Georgia, got a job. She just finished Allen University too.
Okay.
And she got a job down here. And the man said, if I need someone else, would you come down here? So I told her, yes, I'll be glad to come where my wife worked.
Okay.
So I left Alto and come to Eatonton, Georgia, Butler, Missouri.
You left Allen and you came to Eatonton, Georgia with your wife, correct?
I left Alto.
Alto, okay.
And so she was already here for 1 year. And the principal brought me here.
What was his name?
McLaughlin.
Mr. McLaughlin. Okay. So can you tell how Head Start got started in 1965? What is Head? How did Head Start get started? How did the program get started?
Well, the government gave a grant for all children, black children. Wasn't integrated in, all black children. And during that time, there wasn't no integration. But the first year, the government didn't get the grant. The government didn't have it integrated. He said, and I wrote the grant, and then I wrote it the second year. Every year you had to write a grant. It was summer school. And quite natural, it was rough back there, integration. But I didn't want to mix with you, and you didn't want to mix with me. So the government told me, in order to get this grant back, you have to have 1 or 2 white children. And we had 1 white children, and it was insurance man, white child. So I got to grow the grant and got it back. Then every year they get tough and tough on writing the grant. He said that you must move your grant from a black school. See, can you get it in the community, white community? So we did. We got it in downtown in Eatonton, Georgia, upstairs, where lawyer office was. He let us have 4 rooms up there. So that just suited us because we got a grant with 90-something children upstairs. Then, after that, every year, as I said, that the government requires us to have more high white aides and teachers in the program. So, Mr. DeRaney, he had 2 white children. They was grown, and he said, if you get that grant again, I'll let you have my white children. See, back then, they wouldn't let you have it, no, but they did children working in with black folks. So, I needed a social worker, and I need a home visitor. So I hired them as a social worker and go around and visit the parents and see they was getting like they supposed to get. So that was easy, and that year was easy. So we had what you call supervisors come and supervise the program every year. And they said, come back the next year. They said, see, can you get your program, all this was summer we're talking about now. Summer program in a white elementary school. So, Mr. DeRaney, I went back to them and told them my trouble. And They said, I don't see why you can't get that white school just for the summer. One wing of it. So she said, I'll tell you what you do. Say, my people over farm much advance. I bank there. That's why I put my money. I know you put yours, little bit you get down there. So right then, I want what I want. I said, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. She said, I'll tell you, Mr. Gilbert. And I had a group of black on my group. So y'all go back, and I'll call you back by 9 o'clock the next day. And if they can't let y'all have a white school, I can't let them have my money.
Now, was that with Mr. Durrani or Miss Horton, Douglas Horton?
No, that was Miss Smith. That was Randy.
Okay.
And at 9 o'clock, I'll call you. 9 o'clock the phone rang, and she said, y'all can have one wing of that elementary school. I was the first black to take black chairs in that elementary school. And we moved on then, and after we integrated, we didn't have no trouble because when they integrated the school, and they said, well, you can get a grant for 9 months with the school system. Wasn't no problem getting the money from the government. The problem was getting cooperation back then with the other color. When I retired, and I like to bring Miss Sally in there, I needed a social worker. And I told him for the handicapped children. And I told him, I called the staff in and I say, I need a handicap, someone for the handicap chair, but it won't be no pay for it. And so like most of y'all, we turn our heads, they ain't gonna pay me, I ain't gonna work, I can't get it. So I had Miss Staff, or Miss Sally on the staff, and she come back and said, Mr. Gilbert, if you need somebody to help you with the handicap chair, I don't mind helping you. I said, thank you. And the next day, I called her in and said, I got a little money in the budget for that. So we had to budget everything. And as we rocked on, I made her my assistant director. And that's when it looked like the thing fell. He would hire me, he would hire me, he would. But you got to move on doing some volunteer before you get there, you can move up. Because I have done a lot of extra things for different people and for assistance. And but eventually, things come through. Then we had a program here for the adult education. And that program came through, I went to the principal, and this was at night. I said, I would like to be over the adult education classes with her. He said, yeah, Miss Gilbert. That'll be fine. So I was the Head Start director. I was over the adult education. And then that thing worked on. Government sent more money down. That you can hire one parent to work in your classroom during the daytime and told me how much money I had and all that. So that program is still going on up there at the school system and all that. And we had visitors from the government. We had the education people, superintendent, all that. They were supervising the program too. But we never had, when I left them, I told them my speech was, I never did nothing wrong in this program, under this government program, to embarrass this education program. So me and Miss Starr, we left there together. We said when I graduate, when I retire, she said she gonna retire. But in other words, Head Start is a wonderful program. Can't be beat. You have to put the right person over it. Had to attend meetings. So here I am. I stayed there 58 years. Could retire at 30. Stayed there 58 years. And I had my wife. She come in the program when she retired. I hired her as a retirement teacher, you know, and she helped me out during her spare time. So we had a wonderful.
How did you meet Mr. Douglas Horton?
I went to, well, number one, Douglas Horton built trailers. I mean, that's when he was building trailers. And every piece of lumber, a big board, get a scratch in it, he sent it to the trash pile. So we went out there and he said, anything you want, let me know and I'll do all I can. And he do that now. He done retired, but his place out there, but Mr. W. Horton was one of the best. One day I won't say the best, but one of the intelligent white person you could go and talk to. And he used to be one of the representatives of this county, from the county. When I came here, I believe, I can't say for sure, but Mr. Horton was a man.
Okay. How did you start the I'm going to say the grandmother's program, where grandmothers could go into the classroom, into the school system?
Oh, the government, anytime a government program comes through, I always be on top of it. So we started the grandmom program, going to the classroom when they came through, and they said you could have grandma in the classroom, and they gave you one grandmother to one class. So we had we had enough a classroom to have 6 and 7 grandmothers. That's what we had, 6 or 7 grandmothers in the classroom. So I become old grandmother in the classroom. Of course, the head start children, and they would just supervise the children, help the children. Every one of my children, for leaving there, had a computer. Y'all talk about computers, all that in the classroom. Everything like that came through. I was the first classroom, had funds to buy that for those children.
Okay.
And Grandma had their program we had to go to. I was a supervisor, and I had to go to their program. And then they had people come through checking, or the government check on you all the time. But that's one thing about the government. We had the best program in the nation. That was written up in the paper. We always got paper like that, our Head Start program. And we never was gig being, we never had nothing wrong. They send 5 and 6 government people over you to your program every year, or maybe you get passed by and you wouldn't send it every year, but they'll come by and one person go in the class, send a special, they call it, education special, they send an education special, and they send 5, but one would be a special to visit your classroom, and they stayed there and wrote you up for 4 days. And that was the time that everybody, health coordinator, had to be on their P's and Q's. So we passed everything. When they came through, we walk out there, fine.
I got it. Okay. So let's go back to when Head Start. How did you get the kids to school?
I got 2 station wagons. I bought 2 new station wagons when I came here. Because you couldn't transport the children. The Board of Education would let the children ride the buses in. So I bought 2 station wagons. Got one under the shed out there now. Chevrolet station wagon. And I went to one man, and he had a nice looking station wagon up there. And he asked me, I asked him about buying that other station wagon. I just went to Greensboro and bought a new station wagon. And he said, I thought you just bought a station wagon. That showed you how they was watching when we first came here. But it happened to be a white salesman over here from Greensboro. And he said, Mr. Gilbert, you need another station wagon? I said, I need one. He said, don't worry. I'll bring one back over. And that's when the whole county, white and black, they went crazy. And the black principal came to me and said, you're gonna let them boys push you out there on the limb and get you fired. I said, Mr. McLaughlin, as long as I do my work in the school system and you, I can work anywhere I want to in the summertime. So And the parents, they was nice hauling the children in. We had to, the government was very strict on you getting your children health-wise. Two for seeing that they get you brush your children teeth, seeing they get a doctor appointment, seeing it be examined, health department, and that's one thing. The health department was very nice, and they get the children shots, all that. But we didn't have, because white doctors wouldn't touch them then.
What you mean? You couldn't find no white doctor in the
You
time?
find them, but they put their hand on you then, back then.
So what did you have to take the kids to?
We had Dr. Body in Millersville, black doctor.
Okay.
And we had Dr. Body had a dentist, put a dentist in his office down there. You all done heard about Dr. Body. He done retired.
I have. Then I heard you had to go take the kids to Monticello to another doctor.
Yeah. That was the dentist.
Correct.
I used to put 25 4-year-old kids in that station wagon out there.
25 kids in the station wagon?
25 kids. I had to, and it was a storm up here in town now. I stopped by there and I got 25 suckers. You know, we call them sucker candy. And I said, now, see, back then, kids and black folks, they were scared of doctors. Before we carried those children to Dr. Body, we would practice in the classroom, like one parent come in, and they be the doctor, well, put a white gown on. It wouldn't be a dentist, had dentist shoes, you know, and all that. To get them used to that, so when they get to the doctor, they won't be hollering and hooping and all that.
That was smart.
And I said, every one of us gonna have to be sucking candy when you come back now. We can't get this candy until after the doctor say you can have them. I put 25 kids in that station wagon. Them children didn't holler out one bit. And I put them in my station wagon and told them, you candy. They thought they was in hell eating that candy, you know. They was poor kids. They didn't get no candy on them, all that. So in Head Start, you had to have poor people's kids, black kids. And I got my first black kid in Head Start. I did this show there in Bad Boy Drive. That's where they fighting and all that.
You said Bad Boy Drive, they was in the ditch.
That Bad Boy Drive, that's what they named that ditch.
Do you know the name of that kid, or?
I said,
It wasn't the Water Boys, was it?
no. But they gave them in there. But let me move on. Brought him back. Everybody was having been to the doctor. And you have to have records on there because that's what them people wanted. Put them down, put them in the station wagon, carry them to the health department. Health department was very nice. So they work on kids. They shot for the shot. They were required to get children they shot then. But you couldn't find no. But after we improved and the money come down and all that, and you didn't have no trouble finding a white doctor.
Wow.
See, you didn't have and after we integrated school.
Was integrated school, was that hard for the two people to come together, the two cultures to come together?
Two cultures?
Yeah, was it hard for the African American kids and the Caucasian kids to come together?
No.
You didn't have no pushback from certain parents that want their kids to
they didn't want the parents to come together. That's why they built the private school here.
Okay.
That's why they built the private school. But everybody couldn't afford their money to pay private schools. And now, you can go to private school. You can go to private school now. Sure did. But we moved on. The biggest thing was when we integrated, the teacher. They weren't used to people of color, but we had some good colored people here. I had some good secretaries and all of that, white and black, but especially white. I had some good white secretaries.
So how did you get your grant from President Eisenhower's wife?
We wrote a grant to Atlanta up there. They got a big headquarters in Atlanta.
Okay.
So we wrote a grant, and they wrote it. They would come down, read it, and prove it. It's not easy writing now. It's not easy getting. No lazy person can't have it. So they write something. It wasn't for no lazy person. You had to get right grants. Put the right thing in the grant. They tell you what they want on or they question it, turn it down sometimes. But we were lucky. I was lucky. If I see something that wasn't right, I had some good people to go to help me. I found that you got to be humble with both colors. Some of you like and some of you don't like, but you got to be humble and be nice. And that's what it is now. I don't know what you brought me this from.
That's water.
I thought this was some whiskey.
My man.
But in other words, I have had my 15 years of teaching, I hate to leave, but I know it was time for me to go. And we bought our own school bus.
Yeah, tell about that.
Yeah, we bought our own school bus. See, as we improve, the money improve, and the government improve, and it's like it is now.
So it seemed like when Head Start improved, it improved the whole school system in Putnam County.
It improved all the children, the parents. So we had parent meetings. we had our little children graduation. Our first Head Start graduation. We got, well, I thought I had a picture on the wall. But we had our first Head Start graduation. And we ordered gowns for them, because we told the parents they had to pay for the gown. We told the parents that that's the only requirement that I had. We can't buy your children cap and gown. We bought them children cap and gown, ordered their cap and gown, blue, different colors, and white. And we had our first graduation. We had our first graduation in the school system. But the school system couldn't hold them. Had so many parents come and see their children. Now, if you want to see parents come to see you, you do something to their children. That's why you have to be very careful with a child. You have to let the parents and the children love you, and you have no trouble. We had funds in our budget to buy children, Head Start children clothes and everything. All they had to do was prepare that child, send a child.
So you had some kids come to school with no clothes. Well, not saying no clothes, but
they needed clothes.
They needed clothes because they've been wearing them for 2 or 3 days.
We needed clothes. We had clothes being bought. We had so much money in the budget for children clothes. And well, me and Miss Salazar, we go out and buy their clothes, put them on. One day we got cussed out by one parent about putting clothes on her children. So we had to call her in and tell her, this is your dollar. This is your tax dollar. And it's not my money. I said, this is your tax dollar. We had no more trouble out of it. Oh, we find children with dirty clothes on. We bounce. We were kind of bounce on. But we got so large in graduation, the parents, we had to rent Rock Eagle.
Yeah.
I think you've been on some on Rock Eagle program. We had to rent Rock Eagle, and we let them march down the aisle. They was like, you and me. Okay. We had buses to transport to Rock Eagle for graduation. We had we took field trips with those children. And where we went too long as it was approval, but it's nice. It was nice. I guess I don't say enough about Rock Eagle. I could sit here and talk all night about it. Anything else you want to know about Rock Eagle?
No,
I mean by Head Start.
I think you pretty much summed it up. What about some of the field trip to the parks? The Cool Spring Park you used to take your kid to.
Cool Spring Park.
And the parks.
We go in the park we want to go to. We went to Cool Spring Park. We went up at near your home up there. What that? We came to Rock Eagle. We came anywhere. I'm saying, we carry in any decent place. We carry the children. And we want them to get used to it and get education someplace they never been before.
And Six Flags. You take kids to Six Flags?
Oh yeah, Six Flags. We give them Six Flags. Some places never been they used to. Kids never been no Six Flags. They ain't never nobody pay their way in this place, that place. We were there. Yeah. And that was one time we carried a pumpkin patch, watermelon patch. We asked the farmers, but they know about Head Start, and they little bring them up, bring different places that they've never been before.
Wow.
When we first started Head Start, never been before. And then we had an aide for each teacher in the classroom. Get ready to go on the bus, field trip. We could carry 2 parents, but we had aides, that'd be 5 there, and we delegated 5 parents, 5 children to 1 parent. They have to be with that child all the time. We never lost a child.
I got something for you. You should coach football too, right?
Yeah, you coach football.
And I remember your friend of mine, Mr. Nelson, one of your friends, Mr. Nelson, he said that y'all had to go to Hancock or Greene County to get jerseys.
We had to go to Greene County to get jerseys. This was for the high school.
Yeah. Okay, this for high school.
Yeah, for high school.
Why you had to go to Greene County to get jerseys?
Because the Head Start education, the school system couldn't. We had to go there to get nice uniform when you win a tournament or something. So we had to borrow. Color began to ease up. And superintendent called me up and said, I would like for you to be my Head Start director after money began to flow easily. So I took that job, and we had Head Start in Putnam County ever since it was a Head Start, and I was the director of that program. And it was time to move up. The government bought our own school buses, but for us getting space for the children and all that, and the community being nice, white and black, they were very nice to us. They were very nice to us, but we must be integrated. They didn't stress integration. And we moved on then from there. We had field trip for the children. We had qualified teachers for the children. We had to be qualified because the government, we had our own curriculum director along there with the school system. And we fed the children 3 meals a day. We had them breakfast. We gave them lunch. Then we fed them a snack before they went home. So I guess I didn't tell you everything, a lot about Head Start about help out the school system out and all that. And they still have Head Start. When I retired, and I like to bring Miss Sally in there, I needed a social worker. And I told him for the handicapped children. And I told him, I called the staff in and I said, I need a handicap someone for the handicap chair, but it won't be no pay for it. And so like most of y'all, we turn our heads, they ain't gonna pay me, I ain't gonna work, I can't be it. So I had Miss Staff, or Miss Sally on the staff, and she come back and said, Mr. Gilbert, if you need somebody to help you with the handicap chair, I don't mind helping you. I said, thank you. And the next day, I called her in and said, I got a little money in the budget for that. So we had to budget everything. And as throughout on, I made her my assistant director. And that's when it looked like the thing fell. He would hire me. But you got to move on doing some volunteer where you can move up. I have done a lot of extra things for different people and for assistance. And but eventually things come through. Then we had a program here for the adult education. And that program came through. I went to the principal, and this was at night. I said I would like to be over the adult education classes with her. Yeah, Miss Gilbert, that'll be fine. So I was the Head Start director. I was over the adult education. And then that thing worked on. The government sent more money down. That you can hire one parent to work in the classroom during the daytime and told me how much money I had and all that. So that program is still going on up there at the school system and all that. And we had visitors from the government. We had the education people, superintendent, all that. They were supervising the program too. But we never had, when I left them, I told them my speech was, I never did nothing wrong in this program, under this government program, to embarrass this education program. So me and Miss South, we left there together. We said when I graduated, when I retire, she said she gonna retire. But in other words, Head Start is a wonderful program. Can't be beat. You have to put the right person over. Had to attend meetings. So here I am. I stayed there 15 years. Could retire at 30. Stayed there 15 years. And I had my wife. She come in the program. She retired. I hired her as a retirement teacher, you know, and she helped me out during her spare time. So we had a wonderful time.
Now, can you tell about the other program you started?
Hold up. Let me reset. I'm gonna put this battery in there. Get him a glass of water.
Well, Mr. Gilbert, thank you for this time spending with you. Can you give us your name?
Her name?
Yes.
My name is William Gilbert,
Okay.
and I'm very known in this community. Very known among white and black. I didn't have no enemies in this community. So I appreciate y'all coming, but I'd like to hear what I said. I might have said the wrong thing.
We gonna look you up. We know you. We ain't going nowhere.
Your date of birth.
Date of birth, October the 2nd, 29.
How old are you?
Woo! I don't tell my age.
Okay, good.
But come again, but I'd like to see.
It's been a pleasure, man. My man. It's been a pleasure. I enjoyed this.
And how did I sound?
Crispy. One take Jake did. You sound like you did it before.
I know I did it many times. But, and my church name is St. John AME Church.
All right, then.
Well,
You take pictures?
You know I got you. Come on, man.
Okay. Can you get one of me and him side by
Of
side?
course, yeah. We need to get one with us all in there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, give me the camera.
Come on.
well, I gotta have my glasses on.
Oh, you know you look good.
Yeah, that's right. Give me some cool shades.
You want some shade? What? Nah, he fine.
Get us some of them cool shades, man.
I look better with glasses on.
All right.
Hop beside him, man.
Wait a minute, I gotta get my glasses.
What? You fine.
Mama, she give them to you.
Now you look younger like that.
They told me I look younger with glasses on.
Slide over something, man. Come get it.
Big Daddy's not gonna move over there.
Alright.
This is my little baby here.
He getting tall now,
He
man.
get tall now.
Every time I see him,
Yeah.
he make a gray hair pop out of my chin.
Let me know.
Wait a minute now before you take pictures.
Okay.
You tell me to get my glasses.
You look younger like that.
Huh?
You look younger without your glasses.
I know I look young with my glasses.
No, you don't. Smile,
Oh,
Daddy.
wait a minute.
Alright. You get them too. You get them too.
Hold up.
One I've been
You want
with,
to come here, Mom?
been with for 60, 70 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to come here and look while you take a picture.
What?
All right. So now I know where Will gets it from. Will, I thought you invented it, man.
Hey, babe!
Well, what's up, baby?
No, how are you?
We have a little production here. Forgive me for bringing all these cameras in your home, but we had to get the story, you know.
I told Bill, come on, honey.
I'm not presentable for a picture.
Oh, you my picture. Come on now, Bill, you want to take a picture?
Mommy, you getting in?
Come on.
I don't. I would like to, but I don't want to because I'm not
Well,
presentable.
you like the,
I have to have on my makeup
I
and
like what I told me you better together about 100.
That's right.
No, not 100. No.
You got
I got it.
yours
Oh, I got it.
together?
All right, guys. All right. And we're going to count it down. 2. Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna get in this picture. Hold on. I was here too, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tricked you. He tricked you, Mom.
He
He
sure did.
didn't tell you all these cameras was in there, did he?
He sure did.
Because he just needed the picture. He didn't need you to say no. If he would have told you what was going on, you wouldn't have came in here at all.
That's right.
Good job, Will.
You know, something like this going out for the public to see, you want to be presentable.